Shock jock Howard Stern is embracing his woke side.
If woke means I can't get behind Trump, which is what I think it means, or that I support people who want to be transgender, or I'm for the vaccine, well, dude, call me woke as you want. I'm not for stupidity, but I am woke, and I love it.
Wow. Host of Fox Across America on Fox News Radio and Fox Nation. Jimmy Failla joins us now. Jimmy, what would 90s Stern say to that shell of a man we just saw?
He'd be so embarrassed, okay? Because think about it. Howard Stern made his name by raging against the machine, okay? He was a guy giving the FCC the finger at every turn. He's now joined the machine. A guy who was once the champion of the little guy, okay, is now telling you, no, I'm with Big Pharma and Big Government, who fired the little guy if he didn't want to play along and get the vaccine. But let me tell you what it boils down to in a nutshell. This matters, okay? And this is real perspective. Okay, if radio careers were cruise ships, Howard Stern is obviously a Carnival cruise ship with the slide and the diving board. I'm the inflatable raft the Somali pirates are on, okay? I'm pulling up to the oil tanker like, I am the captain now, okay? But Donald Trump's media omnipotence broke Howard Stern. This is very important. Trump used to be on Stern's show every week. Yeah. They were friends. So this idea that Trump was the worst guy who ever walked the face of the earth, why were you hanging out with him? Okay, but this is what happened. Trump, okay, came along and had a similar act to Howard's in the sense that he was crass and vulgar, and he really did resonate with the little guy. And he rode that mentality all the way to the White House. It killed Howard because he was the king of all media. He had that super ego of like, I'm the most important person to ever open their mouth in front of a microphone. And suddenly Trump turned Howard from the king of all media into the Prince Harry of all media. Nobody cared. It was just whining.
So you don't think it has anything to do with politics?
Yes, it does.
It has to do with ego.
Oh, it's 100% ego. Okay, the secondary level of this is politics from the standpoint of Howard did so many things that were anti-woke. When you talk about objectifying women, when you talk about wearing blackface in your sketches, that his political proclamations are the end result of a hostage situation. He openly takes them every day, okay, because he knows that crowd would cancel him in a second, okay, for all of the things he did. So it's two things. One is ego. The other is ransom. Okay.
Totally. To me, this feels like fear and overcorrection.
Oh, of course
right?
it is.
Because we've seen other comedians do this as well. Jimmy Kimmel used to host The Man Show.
Yeah.
And now he's aghast at everything.
Yeah.
And
How
so
dare
there's just
you?
this massive correction from all of these people because they're afraid possibly of getting canceled.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's performative stupidity.
Yes.
I'm with CVS. Stop us.
Speaking of stupidity, President Biden appears to wander off the United Nations stage at the end of his joint speech with the president of Brazil. Here he is giving an awkward salute. Are we thumbing up? We need to show the flag. Can we please show the flag?
Oh, no.
Because my whole question is, here we go. Okay.
Not the worst. He skimmed it. That's okay.
Jimmy,
listen.
As a comedian, as an entertainer, you know, you always need to reinvent yourself. You need to keep your act fresh. What do you make of Joe Biden adding flag fondling to his world stage blunder repertoire?
Listen, between you and me, I am actually starting to think it was his cocaine in the White House. All this time we were blaming Hunter. I mean, but how do you watch that video?
That there was cocaine in the White House. That's how fast the news cycle moves.
Yeah, because again, to his point of refreshing the blunder reel, okay, it moves forward so quickly. Think of how disgusted the president is in that moment of Brazil where he throws the hand swipe because Biden doesn't shake his hand. For everybody watching at home, the way these events work, okay, it's like the unity candle at a wedding. You know when the two moms come up, they each pick up the candle, light it, and then they stand there and pose together. Yeah. Biden came up, picked up the candle, lit a cigarette, and walked away. And now the other guy's just sitting there in the wedding video, and he just goes, ah! And I mean, that's exactly what that was. That was a world leader reacting in disgust at that dementia stroll our president went on.
Yeah, he does have problems with transitions. Going from one place to the other.
Watch the hand. The unity candle is lit. He walks. Look at this guy. He leans over to shake his hand. Forget it. Like, that's not okay, America.
Play that on loop.
But this is what you get when you have, I don't mean to offend our older audience, but older people in positions of power. They're just like my dad,
it has
forget it.
nothing to do with age.
Yes, it does.
By the way.
Get off my lawn.
There is a 100-year-old 12-year-old person watching that would know to shake the hand.
Yeah,
It's not the age, it's the
without
shape.
question.
That man is a mess.
Oh, boy.
Let's watch
All
it
right.
again.
Thank you for joining us.
Best
We
wedding video
appreciate
ever.
it.
We're done.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.